have recalled that beautiful full harvest moon we had earlier this week. So we have high astronomical tides, and then we also have an ocean storm leading to some pockets of surge today. So we are looking at minor coastal flooding potential. That's why the advisory does continue through this evening. But it's really around that high tide time, right around 2 o'clock, that we expect some of those low-lying roadways right along the immediate coastline to deal with some inundation up to about a foot. We are seeing more widespread showers this morning as our Worcester camera is showing some drops on the lens. The shield of rain continues to move farther inland, although it is steadiest and heaviest over southeastern Massachusetts yet again. With more widespread rain and a gusty northeast wind, our temperatures will really stay cool today. We're in the mid to upper 50s to near 60 this morning, and we stay near that mark for the rest of today. Warmest as you travel west, whereas you move out towards Springfield where it's dry, we're into the 70s. But as we move through our timeline, if you're from Worcester East, keep the rain gear nearby. West is your friend if you're trying to get out of the rainfall here, as those showers, while they're light and scattered, will stay around through tonight of the timeline for when they move on out and when we could expect some sun this weekend coming up. About 30 miles per hour this morning into the afternoon. After sunset, we will watch these winds start to die down. It's still breezy heading into your Sunday, but it's not quite as gusty as what we're seeing during the daytime hours today. Let's take you out toward Cape Ann, Cape Cod Islands. These are the spots that will see the strongest wind today, with gusts nearing 40 miles per hour this morning and afternoon. And it's not until after sunset that they slowly start to die down and heading into tomorrow morning. We have rain that we're dealing with too, and that's moving in off the water and spreading over a more widespread area of our region. So over the last few days, rain has really been confined to southeastern Massachusetts. That's not the case for your Saturday. So we're seeing wet weather for really most spots from Worcester moving eastward. That's going to be the case for much of today, although for most locations it's light. The steadiest and heaviest rainfalls yet again sitting right over southeastern Massachusetts, moving through Plymouth County down toward the Cape and Islands. It's a little more showery down toward Nantucket. You can see they're actually in a little bit of a lull right now, but there's more showers moving in off the water for them. Tip of Cape Ann and moving right along the North Shore toward Boston, light showers that are a little steadier now. From Manchester down toward Worcester, this is a band of rain that's kind of been parked in place for several hours here this morning. So while it is very light, it has been steady in that particular spot. But I don't expect rainfall amounts will be overly impressive for areas north and west of 95, where we'll likely stay below that ½ inch mark. But moving southeast, that's where we could see close to 1 inch, maybe even 2 inches, heading down toward Nantucket. With the rain, we're also looking at an onshore wind, bringing in that pockets of coastal flooding that we'll watch for as we move toward this afternoon. We have a high tide of right around 2, so at that time, we could see a storm surge of up to a foot. That's enough that there's a chance of shallow flooding on low-lying roadways, so the most vulnerable roads right along the coast. High surf advisory, too, so we're talking about large breaking waves of up to 12 feet. So overall, very active ocean, as meanwhile inland, we're dealing with widespread clouds. We're dealing with a bit of a chill here with that wind making it feel cooler. We're stuck in the upper 50s to low 60s today, but I'll tell you, with that wind off the water, it'll feel like the mid 50s for most of this afternoon. So plan accordingly. You'll want some layers. You'll want the rain gear. Staying wet for Boston for our 12-hour forecast. But let's take a look at what to expect elsewhere as we move toward late this morning. Showers are focused from Worcester east. They're not as heavy. They're generally light. As we move toward the late afternoon, evening, they become a little more scattered, and more so heading into the overnight. That leads us into improvements for your Sunday, but it's not going to be a blue sky Sunday here. We still have a lot of clouds in the morning, a few lingering drops, drying out for the afternoon, but those clouds are slow to move out. Right around sunset, I expect we'll see some slivers of sun. So